Hey guys, today we will be making a sugarcane farm both for Java and Bedrock Edition. I've come up with two different designs that for each edition are pretty damn good. So actually sugarcane is super useful. When you turn it into sugar, it can be used to make cake and pumpkin pie. Both are very good food sources, as well as potions of swiftness, splash potions of swiftness, and also fermented spider eyes, which means any negative affecting potion. So basically super useful for potion brewing and for making good food sources. And if you turn it into paper, you can make a variety of stuff. Everything to do with enchanting, so lecterns, bookshelves, enchanting tables, books and quills, enchanted books, and then fireworks when you have a gunpowder farm, paintings, empty maps, and also banner patterns. Sugarcane is just so useful. Now, not to mention, we should consider what it can be grown on. So obviously it can be grown on grass blocks, podzol, dirt, coarse dirt, sand, and red sand. And you need to have a water source. As you can see, you probably can't hear me right clicking because I'm using noise suppression right now, but I'm right clicking right now and it's not placing. By placing some water, then it grows. On Java Edition, you can't bone meal it. On Bedrock Edition, you can bone meal it. Now that we've covered that, I think it's worth getting into the building. So, your farm is 6 blocks tall, technically 7, but if you're making more than one layer, which is most likely going to be the case, we're going to be reusing the very top layer of the farm, just like in the bamboo farm tutorial, to make the next layer. It is 7 wide and 20 long. Anyway, materials for layer 1, I'm not going to read these out because there's a lot to read out and we'll be here for an age otherwise. But yeah, there's all this for layer 1, then for layer 2 you have similar materials. Didn't put the water buckets back again because I'm assuming that you've left your infinite water source. And then layer 3 is the same as layer 2 with an extra hopper each time. Apart from that, let's just get straight into the building. So to start off with, this is where you want to put your storage system, and I'm just going to put a double chest. And you want to place all 5 of your hoppers leading into your system, followed by a line of 16 blocks. At the end of the line, place a block to the right, and another line of blocks heading towards the hoppers that needs to be 18 blocks long. Now place a solid block on the middle hopper, and at the end of the line of blocks you just put down. Then add 2 powered rails onto the hoppers, and do the same on the other side. Head to the end of the lines of blocks and place 1 powered rail a block before the end on each side. Then you can put your normal rails on the rest of the blocks. Between the 2 rail lines on either end, place a block with a redstone torch facing towards the powered rails to turn them on. And now you can place in your minecart with hopper, and voila! You have a collection system. You can now place the block chosen to grow your sugarcane on top of all the rails except for the final row on both sides. Then place a stair in between them facing inwards and slabs all the way along until the very end, where you will have to place another stair facing inwards. At this point you're going to need a lot of buckets of water, so either you can collect more from a river or an ocean, or you can make an infinite water source like this. Once that's done, you can fill in the slabs and stairs with water so you can place down your sugarcane. From this moment on, don't break any of the rails, as it will result in a big mess and it's a real pain to fix it, even in creative. Okay, now place in a 3 high wall of blocks to prevent any sugarcane drops from falling into the water where they cannot be reached by the hopper minecart. Now you can place a line of blocks on each side at the same height as the sugarcane you just placed in, and a row of pistons on all of those. Behind the pistons will go a row of solid blocks, so no glass or no leaves, etc., with redstone dust on top of them. Quite close to the end now, you want to put observers on top of the pistons with their head side towards the sugarcane so they can detect when the sugarcane grows 3 high and trigger the pistons to harvest it. And finally, case up the sugarcane so that no drops can fall out and not be picked up. And that's your layer 1 done. So first you want to have a temporary block here so that you can place a dropper facing downwards. Then break 2 of the blocks on the top layer and place in 3 hoppers leading into the dropper you just placed. You can now come down to the bottom of your sugarcane farm and place a hopper and proceed by placing in a tube of blocks to guarantee that your drops from layer 2 actually end up in the storage system and not somewhere on the floor. With that done, we can build a dropper circuit so that drops can actually get to it. So start by placing in a comparator coming out of the dropper. While shifting, place a block coming out of the comparator and to the right of it, a sticky piston. You can now place in your observers just like I do, and if it isn't working, watch this part of the tutorial again to make sure they're the right way around. And just like in the bamboo video, it's now a matter of placing the same stuff in as the previous layer, so start with your rail system and don't forget a row of blocks with normal rails on them at the end. If you can't remember how to make any parts of the layer, I would recommend going back to the tutorial for layer 1, as I did make a few mistakes while making it, or I did it in a little bit of a confusing order. If you're wondering why I used lime concrete and glass, it's so that you guys can see where I reused blocks from layer 1 and where new blocks had to be placed. Plus, I quite like the green glow the glass gives off with the Silder's shaders, so there's that too. Anyway, that's layer 2 done. So if you didn't catch it in the last clip, make sure you place in this little row of blocks with rails, and also for layers 3 and up, place an additional hopper on top of the dropper of the layer below it. And with that said, let's get into making the Bedrock Edition design, or if you're not interested, check the timestamps in the description for the outer building designs if you want to see those. It feels so weird to be back on Bedrock Edition. I can't zoom, but like, I would zoom in on my face right now and tell you, there we go, I can do this. This is weird. Your farm is going to be 15 wide, so a pretty chunky boy, 19 long, and 7 tall, and we're only going to be making one layer as it does require a lot of materials and should generate plenty of sugarcane, but I would recommend you make this only after having gotten elytra and being super far in the end game. So, here are your materials. Obviously, I'm not going to read them out, but I will put the list of materials just so you can truly understand how much is actually needed for this farm. And don't forget, they are listed in the description below. You can go check them out if you don't want to pause. And anyway, let's get into making this farm. Let's get started with the first thing that we always need in a farm, and that's the collection and storage system. So I'm going to suppose that just for a little while, a double chest is all you're going to need. So what you want to do is most likely mark out the area, the 15 by 19 area, and on the 8th and the 9th block, you want to place a double chest. And this double chest, on the left hand side when you're at the back, you want to place a hopper, a redstone comparator that's going to read when there's stuff in there. You're going to place a block, and then you want to place a redstone lamp. So once you've done that, you want to grab another hopper, come out of the back like this, and then on this side, so the side where there's the redstone lamp, you want to place 3 hoppers coming out of it, and then coming out of this last one, you want to come backwards and place 2 hoppers like that. On this side, you want to place 1 hopper, and then do the same as the other side, you want to place 2 coming out of the back. With that set up, we're going to grab some blocks and place a 14 long line in on both sides, connected at the end. Now we can come back to the hopper lines and place a solid block on the corner hopper on each side, and next to them powered rails, and then put down your normal rails except for near the end of each side where you'll also want to put down a powered rail. It's a bit confusing, but you can see it. All you have to do now is fill in the rest of the track with what's left of your normal rails. However, you do need to turn them on, so place a block between each of them at the front and the end of the entire system with redstone torches pointing towards the rails. And why not place in the hopper minecart that looks exactly like a normal minecart in Bedrock to finish the collection system? Like seriously, it makes no sense. I just wish they... maybe that's just a glitch. I don't know. I have no clue. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's move on to the next bit. So, just like the Java design, you want to place your block of choice on top of all the rails, except for the last row. And if it's a physics block you're using, try not to break any of the rails from this point on, as, well, I said before. Yeah, it's a pain, even in creative. You now want to come next to the sand and place stairs facing inwards at each end on both sides, and then create a sort of trough that you can put water in with stairs also. And with this trough setup, we can now make an infinite water source, and I'm going to make a 2x2 one. And you want to grab some buckets and waterlog every single stair you just placed, which means in goes the sugarcane. With all your sugarcane now able to grow, we can stick some observers on the side facing upwards. And if you're unsure that you have them the right way around, you should have the red dot sort of thing on top, or if you look at the side, there should be an arrow facing upwards. At this point, grab some blocks and place a layer of them all but above the observers. And we're going to place in a row of pistons facing towards the sugarcane on each side, and then fill in the row between the 2 rows of pistons with solid blocks, with redstone dust all the way on top. You can now take your observers again and place in a row of them on top of the pistons with the head side facing towards where the sugarcane will eventually grow. Again, not placing blocks above the observers, case up each side with some blocks. And as you can see on this side I've put in dispensers. I'm going to show you guys how to do that because it's a bit annoying and it's mainly my fault. I forgot to put them in. But you'll actually have to break this row of blocks and the sugarcane. I know, it's very annoying. But then you can place the dispensers on top of the observers like this and place all this stuff back in. And now that that's been done, we can actually start making the peacock design I came up with, where we have a hopper going into this dispenser. And now we want to place a temporary block and a block that we're going to keep. I'm going to break this temporary block. We're going to have a redstone comparator coming out of the hopper. This means that it's facing out of the hopper, and from there we want to make a cross shape like this, but with just a block at the bottom like this. It doesn't have to be a solid block. All of these blocks have to be solid, and once you've done that, break this center bit. You can place a redstone repeater in there and a redstone dust there. That's the actual loop, but now we need to actually connect it to something that's gonna do something. So wow, that was bad English. Place a sticky piston here, so underneath this block that's going to get powered when the repeater is activated. And then you want to make a little trench like this, and hopefully this places. Yes, there we go. And you can see that the head side is facing upwards, and this head side is facing downwards, so it's going to create a loop like this. As you can see, this is flashing a lot. Place this here and it's going to activate it. It's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it will never stop. This is an infinite loop. It's a bit like if you were to take an extension cable and put the plug into one of the sockets of it, and it just created an infinite power loop, which obviously it doesn't in real life, but yeah. So now once you've done that, you could just repeat this either as many times as you like, or just keep it at 15. All you have to do, and I say all you have to do, it's pretty tedious actually. You just have to create this same module style thing 29 more times. So that will be on both sides, you need to do that. And this is why I'm saying you should only make one layer for this, because it requires a lot of materials, but it does generate a lot of sugarcane. And it's probably one of the best methods to be getting sugarcane without a flying machine, since they removed zero-tick farming. Okay, so now that you've done that, we have to actually figure out a way for the bone meal to get distributed evenly. So, first thing we're going to do is on each side, we're going to take 2 blocks out, we're going to place a torch, I'm going to take a solid block, I'm going to place one on top of the torch, so you need to do this on both sides. And once you've done that, you can come to the back here and place in a temporary block. This is on both sides again, and just place a block like that. And also you can place a block on top, which is right like that, and place a torch on it. And now, as you can guess, this is where our powered rails will go. We'll put powered rails here and here on both sides. And then we have normal rails, or they could be powered rails. It's up to you. Normal rails that go all the way across. Now that that's done, you can grab yourself a solid block, place it right here, And I'll show you how to do this on the other side, because it does have to be mirrored, which is a little bit more complex than you might think. Place a comparator on top of it, and then we place a block. Underneath it, we can just place some normal blocks. So we place temporary block and come out 2 like this. Here we're going to place a redstone torch, and then we're going to place a redstone dust, which is going to be powered by the redstone torch. And here we're going to place a repeater. We could actually get rid of these torches here. As you can see, it's still on. So actually, make sure you get rid of this, because that will completely ruin the whole thing. So let's do this on the other side. There we go, just like that. Currently, they can't detect anything, because currently there is nothing to detect. So let's make the hopper line now. So we want to place a hopper just there, do that on both sides, and make sure you count carefully here. You actually want 4 leading into the left and 3 into the right. And if you don't do this, only one side will actually get any bone meal. And the reason I wanted to make sure the numbers were correct is just that it looks better, and it's also more functional to have chests in line with each other. And if you have one hopper on each side, it will take evenly from each of them. So for instance, if I take a stack of red wool, put it all in, we'll see first it's taking out 2 at a time, which is a good sign. It means both hoppers are taking blocks. As you can see, it's being taken along the hopper line, and we will see how much is actually in it in the end. Okay, that's empty now. This has 32. And this is 32. Great. So now if we had a minecart chest, oh, I was trying to place a chest there, it will fill up, as you can see. And then once there's nothing left in here, it will zoom across, and it will, oh, I probably don't want to do that with red wool. Oh well, it's fine. As you can see, it's running across, and it's dispensing all of the blocks, and it would be so much better if it were bone meal at this point, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay. And then it's going to activate all of these, and as you can see, everything is turning on. This is great to see. And then if we do this, we'll be able to see sugarcane starts coming in. Look at that. Sugar canes, apparently. Let me know what you thought, and let's get into the outer shell buildings. So, rather stupidly, I made this design on my creative testing world, as you can see behind me. Lots and lots of sugarcane farms, including the Bedrock one. I designed it on Java, but it works on Bedrock. As well as, obviously, my outer shell building design. And I quite like it. I think it looks good. It's pretty similar to my sugarcane, like original sugarcane farm building design. I kind of changed it. Wow, there are lots of spoilers for other stuff here. I really like how it looks on this side as well, with this nice staircase. If we go up, we can hear some bubbly water right now. It's still going up. Still going up. Oh my goodness. And there's nothing. Whoa! Except for a bit of a lighting glitch. Let's see what's in here. Ah yes, all the redstone for a massive silo storage. Yeah, that took a really long time. Most of this I did with World Edit, but I wasn't able to do this part in the silo storage inside with World Edit because I'm not good enough at World Edit to do that yet. Bit bland on the back, and on the side it looks cool too. You can see the entire thing. Obviously at the front you have this big sugarcane, and up there like a minimalist logo. Quite like how that looks. And this sort of full chests counter, which is kind of cool. And I mean, I really like this. It took me a very long time, as well as the video. The video took me a very long time. And also, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. It has been almost 2 years since I started this channel, probably nearing a year and 10 months since I uploaded my first video. But yeah, I really like how this looks. And if you do too, leave a like, leave a comment. Join my Discord community server. I launched it a few weeks ago, I believe. And there's a whole chat there where you can send pictures of your building designs for a farm like this. If you want to send one, completely up to you. Might be cool. and I'll be replying to anyone who goes on there. So I guess that's it. It's been a long video. If you're still here, thank you ever so much. And if you're not subscribed and you're still here, I mean, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't think I'm allowed to do that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And it's going to be a good one. 100 subscriber special. Nothing like we've ever seen on this channel before. Okay, I promise. And it is Minecraft. It's not like World of Tanks or anything. Tornado. Traitor.